Alright, so in the last two videos, I've already shown you the front desk conversion gap and why you're winging it. And it gets you only 30 bookings in comparison to the 70% that you could be getting. But even if you build a script, okay, even if you train a front desk to use it, there's still one more problem, okay? They're not handling objections properly. And what I mean by this is when someone says, I need to think about it, or that's too expensive, or I want to talk to my partner first, most front desks say, oh, okay, call us when you're ready. That lead is gone just forever, And in this video, I'm going to show you on the board the 5 most common objections you're going to get and why they come out and how to handle them without being pushy or without sounding like an idiot, okay? This is where it will save you under the 20% to nearly 30% of leads that we're about to walk away. Let's get right into it. So right here, we have the full on board as to the objection handling gap, why I'll think about it kills 40% of bookings, and how to save them without being pushy. What happens when objections aren't handled? The dropout pattern. 100 leads on the phone, 70 express interest, 30 raise an objection. The front desk says, okay, call us when you're ready. 28 never call back, they're lost forever. 2 call back, and this is even rare exception. You started with 30 people who hesitated, saved only 2. That's a 93% loss rate on objections right here. Good, you have 70 out of 100 leads that already express interest and ready to move forward, but we need to get every single person on board because you have the best service out there. I need you to understand this. If you don't think your service is the best one out there, you can't be selling in this space. Now, the reality is when someone says, I'll think about it, they mean one of 3 things. Number 1, I don't see the value yet. Or number 2, I don't even really trust you. They need more credibility. Or maybe even, I'm not ready to commit yet. They need a push. But your front desk treats them all the same way. They just say, oh, okay, call us when you're ready. And when they don't know how to diagnose and address the objections, 93% of hesitant leads are lost. But they're not only lost, they just go to your competitors. The 5 most common objections and why each of one of them comes up. Number 1, I need to think about it. Frequency is 40% of objections. What they really mean is, I'm not convinced this is worth it. Because here's the thing, if someone said, oh, I'll give you $1,000 for no reason at all, I'm just going to give you $1,000 cash. Or are you going to say, oh, I need more information, or I'm not convinced this is worth it, because it's free, right? It's such a no-brainer decision. Same thing with this. You must make your offer a no-brainer decision. The reason why this comes up is you didn't build enough value, or you didn't even address their specific concern. How are you supposed to help them if you don't address their underlying concern? You didn't even create urgency, or maybe they just don't even trust you yet. What doesn't work is, oh, okay, take your time and call us back, because they never call back. What does work is, oh, I totally get that. Can I ask, what specifically are you thinking about? Is it the timing, is it price, or are you just not sure if it's right for you? There's more to what meets the eye to this. When you give them the option of timing, the price, or if they're just not sure if this is right for you, you box them into the corner of them having to make a mental decision as to actually why they're not ready, or they need to think about it. When you put them under these 3 options, they make a decision as to why they're not ready, even if they didn't have it originally. And while your front desk accepts the objection, 40% of hesitant leads walk away and go to your competitors. Number 2, that's too expensive. Frequency, 30% of objections. What they really mean is they don't see the value matching with the price, or I didn't budget for this amount, or I need you to justify the cost. For example, you wouldn't go into Starbucks and buy a coffee that's $14. You would never do that because you don't see the value. It must be the best coffee that's been made on this entire earth for it to be $14. You'd pay $5 to $6, sure, at your local Starbucks, but you would never pay $14. You don't see the value in it. Same with this. Why this comes up is you usually gave the price beforehand. You didn't frame it properly. You didn't break down the cost, or you just never connected it to their goal. What doesn't work is, well, we have financing options. It sounds desperate because you're trying to grasp at straws to get the sale. But what does work is, I hear you. Can I ask, compared to what? Because when you try to break it down, it's only around $3 per day. To not have it to worry about their concern for the next 3 to 4 months, most of the clients tell us that their peace of mind is totally worth it. Does that make sense? You must reframe the price as a daily cost plus value. Do you guys remember? Do you remember those infographic commercials on TV in the early 2000s that were saying only $1.67 per day, or $37 value at 30 cents per day? The reason why is because they never showed value on that infographic commercial. And how could they? They only had 30 seconds on the TV. Well, here you have time to tell them, give them the value, and even if they do finally object, you can just use the daily cost value. And when your front desk doesn't reframe price, 30% are lost to cost objections. Number 3, I need to talk to my partner. If this happens around 15% of the time, what they really mean is, I'm not comfortable deciding alone, or I need permission. If it's actually this, you shouldn't get involved with that. You should never get involved in family matters, but that's the only way, this is the only one that you should be wary about. I need permission, that's something else. Or this is one is, I'm buying time to think. Why this comes up, they feel pressured to decide now, they're not fully convinced, and they want an excuse to delay. These two are the ones that you need to be worrying about, but you will still hear this one, and this is the only legitimate one. What doesn't work is, no problem, just let me know what they say. They never call back. But what does work is, of course, I totally understand and wanting to discuss it with your partner. Can I ask, is there anything specific that they want to know that I can help with now so that you have all the information when you talk to them? Also, just so you know, we do have a spot open at Thursday at 2 p.m. Should I hold that for you until you discuss it, or you prefer to call back once that you've talked? You give them a small commitment, and you basically guide them towards talking to their partner about it. And while your front desk lets them go, 15% are lost to partner objections. Number 4, I'm not sure this is right for me. 10% of objections. What they really mean is, I'm not fully understand what this does, or I'm scared it won't work for me, or I need more reassurance. Why this comes up specifically is, you didn't explain the process clearly, you didn't address their specific situation, you didn't give social proof. They don't trust it will work. If you don't give social proof, because this is a medical injection, right? This is something that is life-altering. You must give social proof. Now, with all being said, what doesn't work? Not saying stuff that, oh, it works for everyone. This is generic. It's not assuming or assuring. But what does work is, I get that. Can you tell me a bit more about what you're concerned about specifically? And after they explain, you can say, oh, that's totally normal. Actually, we see a lot of clients with their concern. And what we typically do is solution. Does that help? You validate their concern and you provide a specific solution. When your front desk doesn't validate and educate, 10% are lost to uncertainty. Number 5, I want to shop around first. Frequency, 5% objections. What they really mean is, I'm not convinced you're the best option, or I want to see what else is out there, or I need a reason to choose you now. Why it comes up? You didn't differentiate yourself, you didn't create urgency, you didn't build enough value, and they see you as a commodity. They don't see you as a partner to work with, and your offer might not even be that good in the beginning. What doesn't work is, we're the best in town, because everyone says this. Everyone and their mom said this who was a med spa. But what does work is, I totally understand wanting to do your research. That's smart. Can I ask, what are you looking for when you're comparing places? And after they explain, give you the full 9 yards, great. It sounds like their criteria is the most important to you. Here's how we handle it, and you give a specific differentiator. You want to be different from other med spas. I'd also mention, you said you had an event coming up in 3 weeks. Botox takes around 7 to 10 days to settle. You want to sound you want to sound human as well. So if you want to look your best for that, you want to book within the next week or so. I have Thursday and Friday open this week. Which works best for you? Differentiating yourself, number 1. Creative urgency, another one, and then assumptive close. When you have the assumptive close, you slowly guide them towards the sale. And when your front desk doesn't differentiate, 5% of them are lost to comparison shopping. Now, what is this actually costing you? The objection tax. Scenario, 100 leads per month. 70 are ready to book, no objections. The 30 of them raise an objection. Without objection handling, 30 objections raised, you only save 7% of them. 2 of them call back. As a result, total bookings, 72. At 80% show rate, 58 appointments, your average is around 17K per month. Annually, you're doing 208K, which is okay. But with the objection handling, 30 objections raised, 60% of them saved. So you save 18 of them. The total booking is 88 of them, and at an 80% show rate, 70 of them, 70 appointments, $300 average is 21K a month. Annually, 252 grand per year. This is a $3,600 a month more revenue, or 43K more revenue per year. Same leads, same script, just proper objection handling. And each month your front desk says, okay, call us back when you're ready. You're leaving $3,600 on the table. These are leads who are interested, okay? They're calling you. They just need help in making the decision that you're the right one. And when you don't help them, they just go elsewhere. They'll go to your competitors. The objection handling framework, 4 steps, not pushy, just helpful. Step 1, acknowledge and validate. When they raise an objection, don't fight it, okay? Acknowledge it first. I totally understand, or does that make sense, or I hear you. This does two things. Number one, it makes them feel hurt because everyone wants to feel hurt deep down. Number two, it lowers their defenses. Example, when a lead says, I need to think about it, front desk says, oh, I totally get it. That's an investment and you want to make sure it's right for you. You validate their concern. And when you skip this step, leads feel pressured and defensive. That's the issue. Number two, isolate the real objection. Don't accept surface objections. Dig deeper, okay? Ask clarifying questions. Can I ask, what specifically are you thinking about? Is it the timing? Is it the price? Or are you just not sure it's right for you? What would you need to make this feel comfortable moving forward? This reveals a true concern. Here's an example though. Lead, I need to think about this. The front desk says, oh, I totally get that. Can I ask, what specifically are you thinking about? Well, I'm just not sure it's $300 worth it. So it's actually a price thing, not even a time thing. And when you don't isolate the real objection, you're solving the wrong problem. Number three, addressing their specific concern. Now that you know the real objection, addressing it directly. For price, reframe it as a daily cost plus value. For uncertainty, provide social proof. For timing, create some sort of urgency. And finally, for trust, offer reassurance that it's the right decision to work with you guys. Example, price objection. The lead says, I'm just not sure if $300 is worth it. The front desk says, I hear you. When you break it down, it's around $3 per day, so you don't have to worry about it. They're concerned for the next 3 to 4 months. Most of our clients tell us that having the confidence, especially for their event, is totally worth it. Does that make sense? You, once again, reframe what the actual point is and you connect it to their goal. And when you don't address the real concern, leads stay unconvinced. Finally, number 4, the assumptive close. This is personally my favorite one. After addressing the concern, move to the close. Don't ask if they want to book. Ask them when they want to book. Example, lead, yeah, that makes sense. The front desk says, oh, awesome, let me check what time I have available. I can get you in at 2 p.m. on a Thursday or Friday morning at 10 a.m. Which works best for your schedule? You must assume the close, choosing between the options. And while you ask, do you want to book, leads can choose no or I'll think about it. And when you don't address the real concern, leads stay unconvinced. Here's some metrics to look at. Without handling lead objections, you still both have 30 per month. Front desk response, okay, call us back later. But with handling, you have the 4-step framework. You save from going from 2 to 18, over 60% of your objections. Your total bookings go from 72 to 88. Your show-ups go from 58 to 70. Your monthly rev goes from 17K to 21K. Your annual rev goes from 208K to 252K. And overall, you're making 43K per year extra. Same leads, same interest level. The only difference is that one front desk knows how to save objections, one doesn't. $3,600 per month, 43K more per year. From leads that you're already getting. You're not paying extra for ads, or you're not asking for referrals or anything like that. Just optimizing your front desk. And when your front desk doesn't handle objections properly, you're letting 28 bookings per month slip away. But here's the thing, if it works so well, why don't most people do this, Barrier 1, they think it's pushy. Most med spa owners think, oh, I don't want my front desk to be pushy or salesy. But handling objections isn't pushy, it's being helpful. Pushy is, you need to book right now or you'll regret it. But helpful is, oh, I totally get that. Can you tell me more about what you're concerned about so I can help? The lead is asking for help making a decision, and you're providing them information and reassurance. That's not pushy. That's giving a good service. Number 2, they don't train the front desk. Even if they understand objection handling matters, they don't train their team. The front desk is left to improvise. What's needed? They need a script for each objection, role play practice, real call feedback, and ongoing coaching. Without training, the front desk says, oh, okay, call us back, because they don't know what else to say. And while the front desk isn't trained, objections kill 93% of hesitant leads. And finally, number 3, they give up too easily. Most front desks just accept the first objection as final. Oh, the lead just says, oh, I'll think about it. The front desk is, okay, that's it. The call ends. But objections aren't rejections. They request for more info. When someone says, I'll think about it, they're saying, I'm not convinced yet. You need to help me. And when your front desk gives up on the first objection, 60% of your hesitant leads could be saved. Now here's the thing. That is the full objection handling gap. That's why I'll think about it kills 40% of bookings. 43K left on the table. But even if you have scripts, okay? Even if you handle objections properly, there's still one more massive leak. The problem, no shows. 30% of people who book don't show up. You already paid for the lead, you already converted them on the phone, you already blocked out time for your schedule, and they just never show. In the next video, the final video of this series, I'll show you why no-shows happen, what the prevention system looks like, and what is costing you every single month. This is the last 25% of the revenue that's bleeding out within your med spa. And while you have no prevention system, 30% of your booked appointments just vanish. Click the link below to watch the next video, and I'll see you there.